Back up. Back. Oh, hey y'all. What's going on? This pertains to today's video. But don't mind me. Let's get into the video and everything along the way, okay? What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. There is a lot that we need to talk about, so let's do this, shall we? After what us in Texas dealt with last month with Snowmageddon or Alaska, you know, that kind of thing, you think the state can't get worse than that, right? Like, seriously, it can't get worse, right?
So today, I'm issuing a new executive order that rescinds most of the earlier executive orders. Effective next Wednesday, all businesses of any type are allowed to open 100%. That includes any type of entity in Texas. Also, I am ending the statewide mask mandate.
So, which one of y'all think is more efficient to telling somebody to back up? Is it with the fly swat or just be like, back up, back it up? Nah, not about that. What about a spray bottle with like some water or some hand sanitizer? You know, just get away from it. No, maybe even some breeze, maybe something like that. Now, I'm not gonna do it, you know, but I want to. You know what I mean? But Abbott's decision on this, it prompted sharp criticism from health experts and government officials, and it was deemed irresponsible and premature when he announced this on Tuesday. Now, on that day, more than 6,000 people were hospitalized with COVID-19 in Texas, and more than 1,700 of those patients were in intensive care units. Now, on that same day when Abbott, made this announcement, Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves also lifted the state's mask mandate, saying that its hospitalizations in the state have plummeted and that cases have declined dramatically. Now, there's a big difference between the two states. And if you know there's a big difference between both states in a way. Now, in Texas, roughly 7.1% of Texas population is vaccinated, if I'm not mistaken. And it's hard for people to even get vaccinated because, trying to get an appointment, everything's on the way. You have to be over a certain age and everything's on the way, with that being said. And besides that, majority of people are worried about getting the vaccinated because of the side effects from it, like, getting headaches, nausea, that kind of thing, and much more. People are worried and quite concerned about this kind of thing with the whole J&J vaccine and everything. Who knows what's going on with that? Now, looking up everything along the way with this and, about the amount of cases with COVID-19 and the deaths going on, what do you think is the amount or the number of cases and deaths due to COVID-19 in Texas? Like, seriously, look it up and just a quick second, look it up, see what you think. If not, here you go. Now, along with that, what is it in Mississippi? What is their cases and, deaths due to COVID-19? Again, check it out. If you can't check it out, here you go. Now, when President Biden was asked about this, he called it Neanderthal thinking for them to even do this. And basically, it kind of was in a way. And when Abbott heard about this and, about how President Biden called it Neanderthal thinking and so much more, this is what he responded with.
Two things, Brian. First, it obviously is not the type of thing that a president should be saying. But second, he kind of said it on the worst day he could have, because the same day he said that, in Texas, the Biden administration was releasing illegal immigrants into our communities who had COVID. The Biden administration was spreading COVID in South Texas yesterday because of their lack of constraint of testing and quarantining people who'd come across the border illegally. The Biden administration was exposing Texans to COVID. That is Neanderthal-type approach to dealing with the COVID situation. But more importantly, Brian, is this.
Really? Something a president shouldn't be saying? We had a former president who thought it was okay to make fun of the LGBTQ, African Americans, the disabled, and so much more. And you're saying that Biden should have said that at all after what you just said and everything's on the way. Biden should not have said that. Again, what was the number of cases and deaths in Texas? Right. People, it has been at least 2 weeks since we dealt with Snowmageddon and Texas of power coming on and off, no water, and so much more. I still think people are still dealing with this, point blank, having no water per se and everything's along the way. Now, this is somewhat of a distraction to help out with Abbott's, standing as a governor and everything's along the way, if I'm not mistaken. This is just my thoughts and everything's along the way. People have different thoughts. These are my thoughts. Now, this is also, like I said, this is a distraction, but I don't know if you guys know about this, but the CEO of ERCOT, Bill Magnus, was fired from his position. Yeah. Not many people know that, but now you do. And, he was given a $800,000 payout for it, but he refused it. Again, we are getting distracted by everything, with the whole mask mandate. However, you don't know much more about ERCOT. Now, people are, however, getting off of their, like the automatic payoff for ERCOT because with all these price surges and everything, people are like, I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous because people have seen bills for up to like $5,000 to $10,000, and that is truly upsetting. Now, with this whole thing, people are going out saying things like, Abbott cares about us, Ted Cruz cares about us, all these other people care about us, care about us. The lies you be telling, okay? Let me tell you something. They don't care about you. They don't care about us as well. If they actually cared, they wouldn't go off to Cancun because, thinking it'll be okay for their family and themselves while we're dealing with, a Snowmageddon going on with no power, no water, that kind of thing. They wouldn't be doing it. Now, along with that, people are thinking, oh, okay, the mask mandate is fine, everything's on the way. However, people have been comparing it to certain things that just makes you go, what the hell is wrong with you? Now, a friend of mine, he has on his Facebook, his name is William, and he's a good guy and everything's on the way. He's awesome cosplay, you guys should check out. However, he talked about, his thoughts about the whole mask mandate. And someone compared to wearing a mask to slavery. I'm going to say that again. Someone compared wearing a mask to slavery. And you can see on, you can see what he wrote in response to that and everything's on the way. But here's the thing. No. Just no. That's when you just go, no. Just that makes no sense for you to say things like that. And along with that, some stores will require you to still wear a mask, like Target, Walmart, Kroger, that kind of thing, and others won't. Now, I know people are gonna be like, Brian, what you're saying makes no sense. Here's the thing. I know people are like, my body, my choice, and I understand that and everything is on the way. But at the same time, you've got to realize you are also caring for other people around you as well, okay? If I'm walking to a Target and I see you with no mask, I'm just, I feel like, what's the point? And more cases are going to be happening with this whole, with the end of the mask mandate. And now I am glad that school staff and children care are eligible to get vaccinated and everything because they are dealing with kids in school. And, most parents, they're going to be like, yeah, you don't need to wear a mask at school anymore. However, some parents will still say you need to wear a mask at school. If I had kids, I'm going to tell my kids, make sure you still wear that mask. If your teacher says otherwise, tell them to wear that mask. You're going to be wearing that mask all day if you need to. But at the same time, people, you got to understand, cases like this are still going to increase. It's not going to work for people to not wear a mask, okay? You think it's smart? It's not. We are still dealing with COVID-19, people. You want to go out there having fun and everything's on the way. I understand. Wearing a mask is difficult, and wearing that mask is hard to breathe. And like I said in one of my videos, you know who else said that? George Floyd. Okay? You got to be smart about this, people. You got to realize that there's still a pandemic happening, okay? Texas is still dealing with things happening from Snowmageddon. So you got to be smart. You got to be careful and everything somewhere. I'm still going to be wearing my mask for work, for wherever I go. I don't care if anybody says otherwise. I'm still going to be wearing my mask, okay? But that is my thoughts about this whole thing on the whole mask mandate and everything. And I think another state is thinking about actually doing the whole, like getting rid of the whole mask mandate thing. But what are your guys' thoughts about this? Are you for it or are you against it for the whole mask mandate? Y'all, this is the next story. It makes my blood boil so much that I'm infuriated with this. And this is happening right now in Texas as well. Plano ISD officials and Plano police are investigating allegations towards a black student at Haggard Middle School in Plano, Texas, after he was the subject of prolonged abuse and racial bullying. Now, the child's mother reportedly advised school officials of the incidents earlier this week and everything's on the way. The young man's his name is SeMarion Humphrey. And I'm going to get into why I'm going to talk about this as well later on. But Plano ISD Executive Director of Communications, Leslie Rain Stanton, issued a statement on Thursday saying that the Plano ISD administration is aware of the recent bullying allegations and is working with the campus and its local law enforcement to actively investigate the matter. Our district does not tolerate or condone bullying or harassing behavior and is taking prompt and remedial actions to address concerns. Now, you're probably asking me, Brian, what are you talking about? Why are you talking about this kid? This is the thing that's making my blood boil. You know, there's videos going around and everything. There's various posts on social media in which the young man is at a white classmate's sleepover, I presume, or everything, and he's forced to drink one of his students' cup of urine, while another student who is white is, recording this. So seeing that, I'm not going to show it or anything. You can look it up yourself. But seeing that pisses me off so much to think that that's okay for those kids to even do that. And the video circulated all on Instagram, Twitter, that kind of thing, and social media basically. And it was on a Facebook post in a group dubbed Plano Moms Talk, and said that the student was, dealing with racial and homophobic slurs and everything's on the way. He was shot with BB guns and he was encouraged to commit suicide and so much more. This is the kind of thing I hate so much. People think racism is done. But then you see things like this and it just pisses you off so freaking much. This kid, I don't know much about him, but I just watching that video and seeing that his other classmates laughing about this pisses me the hell off. That makes no sense for them to even do this. It irritates me so much. And for the Plano ISD, they say that they're investigating. If this kid has come to a teacher and everything is on the way, if the teacher, probably just said it's probably nothing and everything, what's going on? That's my thing. What is happening with that? And if I'm not mistaken, there's talk about this going on for a year now. So why is this child still being harassed and bullied and, they are just now getting to this? This kind of thing should not have happened. If they came up to you and said, hey, this is happening to me, first thing I would do is try to figure out what's going on. First thing I would do is get their parents, get the kids, everything's on the way. But we have to find out from a video of a child drinking somebody's urine for all this to go down. It makes no sense whatsoever for a child to have to endure this. This is going to scar this child for years. And for those other kids that think, oh, this is fun, that's not funny. Not at all. If my kids dealt with that, point blank, me and you going to have problems. Your parents are not going to have problems. That's not going to be happening. I can't believe that they think that that's truly funny for them to do that. Now, I'm going to figure out more and more about the story about the long way. But hearing about this, it just irritates me so much for that to happen. Don't you agree? Like, seriously. You can look up the video if you want, but at the same time, I'm warning you guys, it's going to piss you off. Okay? It's going to make you mad to a point where, you know, you just want to do things, but at the same time, you try to condone yourself. But just, it's a lot going on. Okay? The last thing I want to talk about is basically about the riot. You know about the riot that happened in the U.S. Capitol in January. It's got news and everything. Well, people were identified and everything's the way. And when they were identified, they were arrested and so much more. One of them was seen on Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office with his feet on her desk and everything. And he stole a piece of mail from the riot. His name was Ricard Barnett. He's from Arkansas, if I'm not mistaken. And he was charged with the whole, you know, riot and everything along the way. He's still in jail. But recently he threw a tantrum during a virtual court hearing on Thursday, yelling at the judge and at his lawyers, saying that it wasn't fair that he was still in jail weeks after his arrest. Buddy, you went and rioted along with many other people at the U.S. Capitol. You decided to think that it was okay to go onto Nancy Pelosi's desk and just hang out there and steal a piece of mail that was probably confidential from her office. And you're complaining that it's not fair that you're still in jail. So from the moment he went on, you know, when he was arrested, he went on and on raging, and so far it's still unsuccessful about the effort on being freed on bond. And, you know, he was loudly losing his patience and everything on the way in the process of otherwise routine hearing from Judge Christopher Cooper of the Federal District Courts of Washington. And again, this whole thing with the riot, it's still happening. And I mean, it's still developing and everything. People more and more are getting identified for the riot and everything along the way. And people are somewhat, I don't know, getting luxury if I'm not mistaken. It's just weird. But, you know, people are still saying, like the guy who had the buffalo head and everything, he was getting some sort of treatment and everything because he wouldn't eat the prison food, and he's getting like organics and everything. But at the same time, it's just a lot going on. Okay, people, a lot is happening in our nation right now. A lot is going on in this world. There are things that just piss me off. There's things that make me question whether or not I should talk about, and so much more. You know, with the whole thing happening for us in Texas, it's a lot. You know, with what's going on with the young man who I was talking about, I'm still mad about that. You know, it just developed. This is still ongoing and everything, but it's just developing to me. But people, I want to know what is going on. You know, what is on your mind, and what do you think about everything happening? You know, what do you think for those in Texas, all my Texans? What are your guys' thoughts about the whole mask mandate? I know a few people are going to say, you know, I like it. Some people are going to be like, I don't like it. That kind of thing. To those in Mississippi, what are you guys' thoughts about that? If this reaches to Mississippi, you know, everything is on the way. Everything else on the way. What is on your mind? You know, we can talk. If you don't want to talk about that, we can talk about other things. We can talk about WandaVision. We can talk about, you know, the ending on there. We can talk about the new Disney movie, Maya and the Last Dragon. We can talk about Coming to America. We can even talk about kids trying to cancel Eminem and this is Gen Z. You know, I don't. That's just a pain in my butt. But what is on you guys' mind? Okay, let me know what you guys think. You know, thoughts about. Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know in general. Okay, like, share, comment, subscribe. Let people know I'm out there giving you guys a good word, because I'm doing what I can to make sure you guys know about what is happening with our world. Okay, I love all you guys so much. But please be out there. Make sure you're being safe. Make sure you're wearing your mask. Make sure you're keeping social distance, and wash your hands so much more, okay? But with that being said, I love all you guys so much. Peace out.